Most used luxury cars are financial disasters. Not this brand, not these 8. Every model on this list is proof that Lexus builds engineering nobody bothers to shop for. The bias is simple. The people assume boring means bad and assume the older flagship means outdated. So some of the smartest used luxury buys on the planet sit on dealer lots for weeks. One of these costs less than a used Honda Civic and will outlast every European luxury sedan built in the same decade. The number 1 pick on this list is the car mechanics call the most reliable luxury vehicle ever built. And it's not even close. Let's get into it. Number 8, 2013 to 2015, Lexus RX 350. This is the most boring-looking crossover money can buy. That's exactly the point. Under the hood sits the 2 GR-FE, a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 making 270 horsepower. No turbo, no forced induction, nothing to fail under boost. It rides on a heavily reinforced aluminum block, a proven timing chain instead of a belt, and a cabin so quiet you'll question whether it's actually running. The one thing to check: these engines are known for a slow oil weep from the timing cover seal. Have it inspected on a lift before you buy. It's roughly a $2,500 fix if it's been ignored. Why it's sitting? Enthusiasts call it boring. It handles like a couch, the styling plays it safe, and nobody makes a viral video reviewing a crossover that just quietly works. You're getting Land Cruiser level drivetrain durability for the price of a 5-year-old Honda Pilot? If you've made it this far, you already know Lexus reliability isn't a myth. Hit subscribe so the next breakdown finds you before you overpay for a badge that can't back it up. Number 7, 2014 to 2017, Lexus CT200H. This is a Toyota Prius wearing a tuxedo, and almost nobody realizes it. Underneath the sharp Lexus panel sits the 1.8-liter 2 ZR-FX e-hybrid powertrain, the exact same Atkinson cycle engine and battery architecture found in the 3rd-generation Prius, rated around 40 miles per gallon. Because the Atkinson cycle keeps internal components under minimal stress, and because replacement hybrid modules are cheap and everywhere, this thing can rack up mileage that would kill a German compact twice over. Stick to 2014 or newer. Earlier models had an EGR valve that could clog and eventually cause a blown head gasket. Lexus redesigned the pistons and intake for 2014. So anything built before that needs a careful pre-purchase check. Why it's sitting. Buyers see hybrid hatchback and assume it's just a badge-engineered Prius, so it gets skipped by anyone shopping real Lexus models. For the price of a used Corolla, you get a Lexus interior and Prius-level running costs. Number 6, 2013 to 2018, Lexus ES350. This is the closest thing to a bank vault with a Lexus badge on the grille. It uses the same 2 GR-FE 3.5-liter V6 as the RX, paired with a 6-speed automatic engineered for smoothness over sportiness, in a chassis stretched to match the Toyota Avalon. The cabin delivers S-Class level legroom, open-pore wood trim, and a ride that isolates you from everything outside the glass. Skip any car with the panoramic glass roof. The tracks dry out over time and the motors can burn out. A roughly $1,500 repair you can avoid entirely by finding one with the standard single-pane sunroof. Why it's sitting. Automotive journalists dismiss front-wheel drive as lesser for a real luxury sedan, so it gets cross-shopped less than it deserves. You're getting a car with the legroom of a full-size executive sedan for the price of a used Honda Accord. Number 5, 2002 to 2010, Lexus SC430 Top Gear called this the worst car in the history of the world. That reputation is the entire reason it's a bargain today. Underneath the controversial folding hardtop sits the 3 UZ-FE, a naturally aspirated 4.3-liter V8 making roughly 288 horsepower, one of the smoothest, quietest V8s Toyota has ever built. It runs so silently at idle you'll check the tachometer to confirm it's on, and it completely sidesteps the failure-prone hydraulic suspensions found in rival Mercedes SL convertibles. The one thing that will actually hurt you: the 3UZ uses a rubber timing belt, not a chain. If it snaps, the engine is finished. Confirm the belt and water pump were replaced around the 90,000-mile mark, or budget $1,500 to have it done now. Why it's sitting. One bad review decades ago still follows this car everywhere, so it's completely overlooked as a genuine V8 convertible bargain. You're getting a real V8 drop top for less than the price of a 4-cylinder Equinobox. 5 down, 3 left. And the back half is where this list stops being about bargains and starts being about Vehicles mechanics themselves would buy with their own money. A body-on-frame off-road tank, a track-proven V8 coupe, and a flagship sedan mechanics unanimously call the most reliable car ever built. This is where it gets serious. Number 4. 2010 to 2023 Lexus GX460. This is a body-on-frame Toyota Land Cruiser Prado wearing a tuxedo, and dealerships would rather you forget that. The one UR-F E4.6-liter V8 uses timing chains built like bicycle chains, has 0 turbochargers to fail, and will tow 6,500 pounds without breaking a sweat, while a kinetic dynamic suspension keeps the truck stable at highway speed. The one issue worth knowing: the coolant valley plate under the intake manifold can develop a slow leak around 100,000 miles. Shine a flashlight toward the back of the block near the transmission. Crusty pink residue means it's leaking, and it typically runs $1,500 to $2,000 to fix. Why it's sitting. Buyers assume older body-on-frame architecture means it's behind the new unibody crossovers, when that older architecture is exactly what lets it survive off-road abuse the crossovers can't. You're getting genuine Land Cruiser toughness for less than half the price of an actual Land Cruiser. Number 3. 2013 to 2015 Lexus GS 350. This is the Lexus built specifically to hunt down the BMW 5 Series, and almost nobody cross-shops it that way. It runs the 2 GR-FSE 3.5-liter V6 with Toyota's D4S dual injection system, direct and port injection working together, producing 306 horsepower while avoiding the carbon buildup that plagues German direct injection engines. Double wishbone front suspension, razor-sharp steering, and a chassis that refuses to blow a water pump at 60,000 miles the way its German rivals often do. Stick to the rear-wheel drive model. The all-wheel drive version uses an older 6-speed automatic that intrudes into the driver's footwell. The RWD car gets the far better 8-speed. Why it's sitting. Lexus's reputation for boring makes buyers assume the sports sedan can't actually compete, so it gets left off the BMW, Audi, Mercedes shopping list entirely. You're getting genuine sports sedan handling for less money than a used 3 Series with twice the repair bills. You've made it through 6 proven Lexus models. Subscribe now because the final 2 on this list are the 2 mechanics themselves actually own. Number 2, 2015 to 2020 Lexus RC F. This is Lexus proving it can build a genuine muscle car, and buyers still default to the American badges instead. Yamaha hand-tuned the cylinder heads on the 5.0-liter 2 UR-GS EV8, adding titanium valves and forged connecting rods from the factory. The result is 467 horsepower, a 7,300 RPM redline, and a drivetrain the track community considers essentially indestructible. While some German V8 rivals deal with spun crank hubs under track abuse, RCF owners run laps all day without a second thought. One thing to seek out: skip the optional torque vectoring differential. It uses complex electric motors that can fail under track abuse. The standard mechanical limited slip differential is lighter and will never break. Why it's sitting. Buyers assume a real V8 muscle car has to wear a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge badge, so this one gets skipped in cross-shopping despite matching their performance. Number 1. 2001 to 2006 Lexus LS 430. Ask any independent mechanic what the most reliable luxury car ever built is, and nearly every one of them gives you this exact answer. The 3UZ-FE 4.3-liter V8 avoids the fragile turbochargers and failure-prone electronics of its European rivals entirely. Panel gaps are measured in fractions of a millimeter, and the interior wood is cut so the grain matches across every panel. Toyota poured essentially unlimited budget into this car during its cost-no-object era, and it shows in every bolt. Avoid the ultra-luxury trim specifically. It came with an early air suspension system that's known to fail and cost roughly $3,000 to fix. The base and custom luxury trim sit on standard steel coil springs, the only version worth owning. Why it's sitting, buyers chase the newer LS500's tech and screens, assuming the older flagship must be outdated, when the older one is mechanically the stronger car. Buy this one correctly, and you're driving a car engineered to run 300,000 miles for less than the price of a used Camry. Every car on this list was punished by a reputation it didn't earn. That's the whole industry, shaken by 8 cars nobody bothered to shop for. Drive safe.